When your horse lies down beside you, do you actually know what they're trying to tell you? Most people assume it's just a horse being calm. But lying down is one of the most vulnerable things a horse can do. And if you don't understand why they chose to do it beside you, you may be missing one of the clearest signs of trust they can give you. So why would they choose to do it beside you? And by the way, if your horse used to do this and has suddenly stopped, stay with me. We'll get into that at the end. And it might be the most important thing in this video. 1. Why does your horse even lie down? Have you ever stopped to think about how vulnerable a horse is when it's lying on the ground? Most people assume a horse lies down simply because it's tired. That lying down is just what animals do when they need rest. But that's not what's happening. The fact that your horse is lying down at all, especially near you, is more significant than the rest itself. Here's why. Horses can sleep standing up. They have a built-in locking mechanism in their legs, a passive stay apparatus, that lets them rest upright without any muscle effort. They evolved this specifically because lying down means they can't run. And for a prey animal, not being able to run is the most dangerous position they can be in. So if they don't need to lie down just to rest, why do they? Because lying flat is the only way a horse reaches deep REM sleep, the kind their brain actually needs to function. And they'll only enter that kind of sleep when they feel safe enough to stop being ready to run. A horse that lies down in your presence is not just comfortable. It is telling you without language that you are the safest thing in its world right now. And if your horse ever suddenly stops doing this, we'll come back to what that means in the final point. 2. They think you're their herd. Does your horse ever seem more relaxed around you than around other horses? Most people read that as personality. He's just a calm horse, or she's always been comfortable with people. But that relaxation isn't really about temperament. When a horse learns they can relax in your presence, it means something more specific than comfort. It means they've learned that when you're there, they don't have to stay on guard. Horses in the wild never sleep alone. When one horse lies down for REM sleep, the others stay standing, rotating watch. It's not a choice, it's survival. The herd is what makes it safe to sleep. The one lying down is trusting the ones still standing to keep watch. When your horse lies down next to you, they are placing you in that role. To your horse, you're becoming part of what makes the space feel safe. You're the one they've decided they can sleep in front of. Researchers studying herd behavior have found that horses designate sentinels specifically. They don't just sleep and hope for the best. The choice of who stands guard matters. Your horse chose you. And if you've never seen this and you're wondering whether your horse truly trusts you, this is the clearest test there is. Not the tricks they perform or how they behave in the arena, this. Whether they will close their eyes in front of you. If this is changing the way you think about your horse, hit the like button and subscribe. 3. They're sharing something most people never notice. Have you ever watched a horse breathe when it's deeply asleep beside you? Most people see a sleeping horse and think nothing is happening. The horse is just out. But something else is happening while they rest. Your horse is picking up on what's happening in your body too. Their breathing slows. Their chest rises and falls at a pace that, if you sit quietly enough, starts to match yours. Not instantly, gradually, over minutes. Studies on equine social behavior show that horses in proximity to calm, familiar companions measurably lower their own cortisol levels. Their heart rate drops, their body reads the calm around them and mirrors it. When your horse breathes slowly next to you, they are reading your stillness. Their body is responding to yours. They don't need to make a sound for that to happen. This is also why horses become visibly tense when their person is anxious, before a word is spoken, before a movement is made. They are listening to your body the way you might listen to a voice. And when you are still and they choose to sleep, they are saying, "This person's stillness is something I trust." 4. The position tells you exactly how much they've let go. Have you ever paid attention to exactly how your horse is lying? Not just that they're lying down, but the specific position they've chosen? Most people see a horse on the ground and treat all lying down positions as the same thing. Resting is resting. But the way your horse lies can tell you how much of its guard is still switched on. A horse lying with legs tucked beneath them, sternal recumbency, eyes resting but alert. One ear may still be moving. They can get up fast. This is comfort, but it's guarded comfort. They feel safe enough to be still, but not safe enough to fully let go. A horse that rolls fully onto their side, stretching all four legs out, head flat on the ground, that's REM sleep. That's the position that requires total surrender. Every flight instinct says this is dangerous. The body does it anyway. Because something in their environment, you, or the space you represent, has told them they don't need those instincts right now. And then there's the horse that lies down close enough to touch you. Not near you, against you. That contact is not accidental. Horses in herds maintain physical touch during rest for the same reason people hold hands during something frightening. It says, I know where you are, I know you're here. 5. They're doing something their instincts tell them never to do. Why would a 1,100-pound animal let itself be completely defenseless next to a human? Most people see a sleeping horse and assume it's just an animal that's switched off for a while. But reaching REM sleep isn't switching off. It's the opposite. It requires shutting down every system that normally keeps a horse alive. Horses are wired for vigilance. Their ears rotate independently, scanning 350 degrees. Their eyes are placed on the sides of their head, specifically to detect movement in their periphery. Even when a horse looks completely still, it's still listening, watching, and checking what's around it. To reach REM sleep, all of that has to stop. The ears go still, the eyes close, the legs fold, the alarms go quiet. Researchers who study equine sleep patterns have found that horses in environments where they don't feel safe struggle to reach REM sleep at all. They rest, they doze, but they never get the deep sleep their brain needs. Over time, that takes a real toll on their health and behavior. When your horse reaches full REM sleep beside you, they're doing something their instincts make dangerous. And they're doing it with you right there. That's not a small thing. That's possibly the highest compliment a horse can give. 6. They remember every time they felt safe with you. Have you ever wondered whether your horse actually carries a memory of your moments together, or whether each interaction starts from scratch? Most people assume horses remember training, movements, patterns, commands, and that's true. But they also remember how a person made them feel, and that's the kind of memory that determines whether a horse will ever lie down near you at all. Horses don't primarily remember facts, they remember feelings. And specifically, the feeling of whether a particular being made them feel safe or unsafe. That kind of memory stays. Every time your horse has lain down near you, they've had another experience of feeling safe around you. They don't need words for that. Their body learns it. And every time you sat quietly, moved slowly, didn't startle them, didn't demand anything from them while they were vulnerable, you added to it. This is why trust with horses isn't built in a single session, and why it can be damaged faster than it's built. They're not keeping score. They're learning what to expect from you. They remember how it felt to be around you. 7. When they suddenly stop, don't ignore it. What does it mean when a horse that used to lay down near you has stopped? Most owners would write this off as mood, routine change, or just the horse having an off week. But when a horse suddenly breaks a pattern like that, pay attention. Especially if they used to feel safe enough to sleep beside you. Sometimes the reason is physical. Pain makes horses reluctant to lie down at all. Lying down and getting back up is hard work for a heavy animal. And if that movement has become associated with discomfort, they'll avoid it. Joint pain, muscle soreness, gastric issues, all of these can change a horse's willingness to lie down. If the change is sudden and unexplained, a vet check is the right first step. Sometimes it's environmental. A new horse in the herd, a change in stabling, an unfamiliar sound or smell in the space where they used to feel safe. Something that was predictable has become unpredictable. And the nervous system will not switch off around unpredictable things. And sometimes it's relational. Horses remember. If something changed the way they felt around you, a fright, a rough moment, even a different way of approaching them, they may respond to that change before you even realize it happened. The answer is always the same: pay attention. Don't dismiss it as mood. A horse that stops sleeping in your presence is telling you something about their body, their environment, or their sense of safety with you. And that deserves a real answer. Because when a horse lies down beside you and closes their eyes, they're not just resting. They're letting themselves be vulnerable with you right there. And for an animal built to run from danger, that's a pretty remarkable thing to give someone.